All right, welcome back to another episode of Are You Not Entertained podcast. This is episode 17, and we got a lot to get through, so let's get to shenanigans. Everyone keeps saying the Nintendo 3DS price spike is just nostalgia hype. But what if it isn't a bubble at all? Because right now, gamers aren't just collecting, they're actively choosing older handhelds over brand new releases. And that says something really uncomfortable about where modern gaming is heading. If this feels familiar, it should, because we've seen what happens when players lose trust in new games. They don't move forward, they go back. So here's what's actually happened. Nintendo 3DS prices aren't just creeping up, they're jumping. Used systems that were sitting at bargain bin prices a few years ago are now selling for hundreds depending on the model. And this isn't just collectors driving it. Regular players are hunting these down again. For games you can't buy digitally anymore, for libraries that feel complete, and for handheld experiences that don't come with a battle pass, live service grinds, or day one patches. Meanwhile, brand new games are getting more expensive, more fragmented, and depending on who you ask, less fun. But before we go any further, pause and drop a comment. Are gamers going back to the 3DS because retro games are actually better, or because modern gaming has become too expensive and exhausting? Type retro game wins or modern game fails in the comments down below.
So I can answer that with a quick yes and yes. Yes, all the above. But huge resale prices increases. Secondhand Nintendo 3DS systems, especially 3DS XL and new 3DS XL, are now selling upwards of $350 plus on the US marketplaces like eBay and Mercari. That's often as much as more than the launch price of the new Switch 2. Some listings have 3DS prices have climbed around 3.5 times compared to a year ago, with price spikes up to 76% above original launch, including the XL models. But that it don't stop there. Some limited editions, I might say this, and box units can be $400 to $1,000 plus in collector markets. Trading values reflect increased demand. Retailers like GameStop have publicly raised trading values for 3DS systems, indicating strong demand relative to inventory. So I'll say this real quick little small break. GameStop ain't stupid. They see what's going on. They try to get their hands on as many 3DSs so they can give you chump change for it and sell them for high value. Now, this $1,000, this $400,000 plus, that is true. I know that for a fact, and I can point out two models: the Samus Returns new 3DS and the Hylian Shield new 2DS XL. In complete inbox, I have seen between $800 to $1,500, especially if sealed or everything is intact. I can attest to that. What is driving this retro spike, you may ask? Nostalgia, or is it just collector? Gamers who grew up with the 3DS, released in 2011, now have more disposable income and are buying back into the system they love. 3DS line has huge and beloved games library, including classics still in demand: Pokemon, Zelda, making the handheld still desirable decades later. Nostalgia is especially strong around the 15th anniversary of the original 3D launch. Not to mention that those games are feature complete, not full of bullshit, drive high demand, are absent of the current market of release now. Homebrew and modding enthusiasm. The homebrewing modding scene is huge. Which lets owners and functionality beyond stock firmware has grown, increasing interest and willingness to pay more for devices. Many pre-modded 3DS units are selling at a premium because buyers want that out-of-the-box capability without setting up themselves. I can attest to this. If you fuck up or do not know what you're doing, you will break that system beyond repair. There are people who are taking advantage of that, who a few months ago, you could get a 3DS or even a new 3DS around maybe upwards to the 300s pre-modded, depending on what was all put up on there. Now, woo, it's a fire sale, baby. Unique hardware appeal. The 3DS lineup occupies a unique spot in handheld history, including features like auto stereoscopic 3D with no glasses needed. No one used that. I'm going to say that. No one used that 3DS feature. It was shown it hurt children's eyes. That's why they did a revision. It's also one of Nintendo's last ultra portable dedicated handhelds, a compact experience that differs from larger modern devices. Quick way to say, you close it, it can fit in your pocket and keep keep it moving. Not big and bulky, no need for a case, and then throw it in your backpack. Relationship to the new hardware, why 3DS demand is outpacing some Switch 2. Switch 2 isn't a perfect upgrade for everyone.
Oh,
The
we've
Switch
already
2 has
said that.
sold millions of units and is officially one of Nintendo's fastest selling consoles ever. Eyes rolled. Sales data from the 25 holiday period suggests some slower uptake compared to the original Switch during this launch era, probably due to pricing, gaming lineup, and economic conditions. I'm going to throw this in here real quick. Anyone who wants to try to defend the Switch 2 and its holiday sales, I'm going to throw this out real quick. The Switch 2 is the new hotness, the new kid on the block. It is $50 less. I'm sorry, it's $100 less than the aging PS5. During the holiday period, Sony knocked down that PlayStation to $400, giving you a bigger bang for your buck. When the aging 5-year-old system outdoes the new boy on the block, some gamers feel the Switch 2 so far feels like an incremental upgrade rather than a must-have, reducing urgency for many buyers, especially casual, retro-focused players. The economics of new hardware versus retro, new Nintendo consoles, including Switch 2, are modern AAA titles. AAA titles are often priced much higher, making retro consoles comparatively more accessible, attractive for budget-conscious consumers. Let that sink in. Budget conscious. Because that's what you need to be in today's environment. In some regions, used 3DS prices approaching Switch 2 levels reflect both collective pricing and some compliance constraints on the vintage hardware. But when you want what you want, and people upwards to paying close to that $1,000, but to have the complete freedom to have any and whatever game you want, whether you choose to go the modding way or collecting their cheaper physical games that ain't nowhere near $70 on Switch 2. Production has ended. Scarcity fuels prices. Nintendo stopped producing the 3DS family in 2020. Oh, that's a significant year. And its eShop and online services have since been shuttered, contributing to the retro interest. Once consoles are out of production and demand persists, used prices naturally rise as suppliers dwindle or listings stay on market longer. Huge install base maintains interest, while the 3DS still sold over 75.9 million units worldwide during its lifespan, meaning a large install base is traded and resold, keeping prices relevant. Because these systems are plentiful but finite, used market supply pipeline is now largely controlled by collectors and resellers. Listings frequency, prices for sealed or limited edition units have skyrocketed more than generic units. Like a priority. Moderate increases in standards, secondhand prices reflect the true demand from gamers, not just collect. And I'll say most of gamers today feeling gypped, two-pieced, and just half-assed by these platforms. So I see full well why pay $450 for a nicer looking Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, $80, $90 when you can take that same money, invest it into a system that will give you more bang for your buck, freedom to do and play the games how you so choose to. Because you can buy the Ocarina of Time 3D remake for 3DS for like upwards of $20 to $30. And that's relatively cheap depending on how you find it. You can find it probably a little bit more cheaper if it's just a cartridge without the case. So, I'm all for this. I have multiple 3DSs. I have a stock, I have a modded, and a 2DS XL. I get it. And I do play and use mine. So kudos. The consumer has spoken. And they would rather pay for what they want and can enjoy the Nintendo's way. So keep doing it. But the drawback is Nintendo products tend to get super expensive the longer time goes on. So anyone listening, if you have not experienced this platform, you are looking to jump into retro gaming, modding, even in a sense, you probably want to get up on this now. Because like I said, certain models, they are up there. I know the Galaxy model, they ran on Black Friday. That's a highly sought after one. The new 3DS Pokemon versions, don't even try to go after those. That's a car note or someone's mortgage payment. I'm telling you, you're gonna see the price and be like, yo, what the fuck?
All right.
Limited edition models, probably want to stay away from those, but the regular launch 3D models or new 3XL, you can't go wrong with those. And if you find one where it's preloaded, much even better. Trace, do you ever experience the 3D system? I'm sorry, 3DS systems?
Yeah, for for a time, but I just wanna. This is not just a Nintendo. I'm not issue, but this isn't just not a Nintendo thing. This is across the board. People are buying modded PS4s, old Xboxes. Like people are buying more retro games since I've really took note of it, and especially
Oh
we've been
yeah.
getting a lot of feedback on our videos that when we discuss how expensive gaming is becoming. We get comments all the time saying, "Hey, just recommend going retro. And every time I see it, I'm like, that's good advice. Yeah. Like if you can buy a modded PS4 with all these fucking games on it, you can. And then let's highlight the fact that most of the older games are more fun because you don't deal with fucking battle passes 9 out of 10 and all the other
Mhm,
shit. This is not just a Nintendo thing. It's just, this product that Nintendo has in their family is going crazy on prices. But yeah, a lot of people more than ever are going retro because they're
mhm.
not going to move forward with the shenanigan prices of gaming today and what is game is looking like is going to become in the near future in the next 6 months or a year. So yeah, this is just not a Nintendo thing. And hey, I'm all for it. I always champion value. And when I say retro gaming, it has good value. Like tested games, you already know what you get. You know the good ones, you know the bad ones to stay away from. And sometimes even the bad ones are still, I'm all for it. Hey, if you think this is what's best for you for the amount of money you're going to spend and you think you can stay this for an extended amount of time and then enjoy the experience, I don't suggest no one buy Switch 2 anyway. So yeah, definitely, hey, go retro if you need to. But let me know in the comments below, or have you been looking at retro consoles? Because there's a lot. Even modding the Switch One is a thing too that I know at one
Mhm.
point I was looking into. So yeah, older hardware still has a place in today's age with these prices going crazy. But you let me know in the comments below how you feel. Are you investing in retro game, or you're more tempted to now than ever because of the price of gaming right now? Let us know in the comments down below, and we'll see you there.
It's funny that you mentioned that because I have also seen an uptick on my YouTube timeline on people making videos on the PS Vita as well.
Oh
Whether
wow,
it's
that's
a great
fun.
oh yeah, I've seen videos of PS Vita, great system in 2025, late 24 videos, how it's coming back. They have ported, I guess, so many Android or mobile games to the system that didn't come to it. It's a lot going on. So yeah, the retro scene it is booming, whether it be for just regular old Joe schmoes or even the modding scene as well, because you can mod the shit out of the Vita as well. So yeah, let us know in the comments how you all feel about this subject.
All right, let's be clear. Everything Arc Raiders has done so far has worked. Arc Raiders didn't just launch strong, it kept players. We're talking 12 million copies sold and a player count that stayed high for months after release, which puts Arc Raiders in a category most multiplayer games never reach. And now devs are finally explaining how they pulled that off. Not with luck, not with hype, but with deliberate matchmaking choices that players are clearly responding to. All right, so let's talk about why this matters in a good way. Arc Raiders launched strong, but the real story is what happened after launch. Player counts didn't fall off, sessions stayed active, squads kept forming, and while a lot of multiplayer games struggled to keep momentum past the first few weeks, Arc Raiders has stayed healthy months later, something you don't get by accident. According to the devs, one of the tools behind the consistency is what they're calling aggressive matchmaking, a system designed to keep games competitive, populated, and engaging instead of letting lobbies die out. So before we go any further, jump in the comments. Do you think Arc Raiders' aggressive matchmaking is the reason the game stayed fun and populated? Or would it have thrive no matter what because the core gameplay is that strong? Type matchmaking or gameplay in the comments down below.
So, Embark Studios, the developer and publishers, have confirmed Arc Raiders uses a type of aggressive based. The system considers player behavior, not just skill when forming lobbies. How does it work, you say? Well, the primary filters skill level, ensuring players of similar ability match together.
Mm.
PvP versus PvE playstyle. The game tracks often how you engage or avoid combat. Players who hunt other players or seek PvP are more likely to be grouped with similar, more aggressive players. You know, the Stallones, the Arnold Schwarzeneggers. Players who focus on PvE, more cooperative objectives, get matched together with more like-minded squads. You know, like the Bilbo Baggins, the Shires of the group. Why was this added? Designed to reduce mismatch frustration for peaceful players constantly run into more the chaotic, focused raiders. The aim is to balance tension without forcing players into fights they don't want. Developers caveat says they admit it's not a full science, but they don't want to make it too predictable or exploitable. Behavior tracking is complex. It must balance engagement, unpredictability, and player satisfaction. The community's response and implications of some players appreciate being separated into playstyle aligned lobbies. Others argue it might dilute tension by reducing unexpected PvP encounters. The Reddit discussions also highlight that defending yourself can still count towards aggressive behavior, influence matchmaking. Ooh, that might be something I might want to look at. New records show that Arc Raiders has hit an all-time high of 3.2 million active players as of January 4th, its biggest single day count. This figure includes PC, the PlayStations, and the Xboxes. Context and broader concurrent stats on Steam alone, separate peak concurrent records near 480,000 plus. Nearly 500,000 players were observed around the same time. This suggests a strong cross-platform engagement trend, not just PC-centric activity. I'm sorry. Also give into account the Steam Winter Sale discount, 20% off on many platforms, increased purchases and player activity. Holiday break players were off of work and or school, logged in more time. 12 million copies sold is a huge milestone. Data analyst Alania Analytics, I may have butchered that, shows Arc Raiders has sold that many copies worldwide across all platforms. It's significant for a non-free-to-play extraction shooter, especially one released so late in 25. You have AAA games who don't hit that type of milestone so fast out the door. Timeline sales climbed steadily after launch. Early milestones hit multi-million sales shortly after release, and it's expected to grow even more through early 2026. Revenue generated over 3 million with an approximate retail price around 40 USD. Arc Raiders has generated more money in such a fast amount of time. Steam accounts for 53 to 54% of total sales in January. Woo! A strong PC market condition. Don't leave the consoles out. PlayStation and Xbox together contribute the rest, showing cross-platform commercial traction and success. And they say that console players and PC don't get along. The genre impact. Arc Raiders remains one of the standout extraction shooters of 25 going into 26, gaining recognition for blending PvPvE with behavior-aware matchmaking. The community's concerns, despite success though, reports of rampant cheating, PC people, aimbots, wall hacks have surfaced, especially at higher skill tiers, and Embark is promising updates to their anti-cheat systems. You won't stop that. You can't stop that. As long as PC is in the equation. But the developer does have more future plans to Embark, actively balancing matchmaking, more behavior tracking, anti-cheats, and they have a long live service support ongoing for the system. So, in short, the game is highly successful, highly addictive, and is showing there can be change into these markets if done correctly, thoughtfully, meaningfully, and actually paying attention to your players' needs and or wants. Good job, Arc Raiders and Embark Studios. The cheating thing, like I said, that's in all games. You can't stop that. There will always be someone who just don't give a shit. Just like in Batman, there's always someone who just wants to see the world burn. Reese, how are you feeling with this tremendous news? Amazing success. And I know I can speak right now. My cousin is actually addicted to this game.
Yeah, I try to play this game every day, and if you've listened to the last few Arc Rated topics, you know I love this game. You know I've had a lot of fun with it. I have defended this game against some people saying there needs to be a PvE only mode. I even made a 2026 hopes dream video about what I would like to see and possibly could see, and I did note that they need to do better with the anti-cheating thing because a lot of people have been exploiting the game. I'll say that, and so you have to at least you have to try to keep the integrity of the game because there is people's loots on the line. And when anytime something feels unfair and you lose loot, that's when you're gonna get complaints like, hey, reinstate my stuff. I have seen certain posts in the community where they have went to Embark and said, hey, this person was cheating, gave over their Embark name and got their stuff back. Now I don't know that to be true. I've never done that, but that's just what I've seen. But yeah, I think like I said, even with everything, even without the suggestions that I made for 2026 for Arc Raiders, the game is just so fucking fun. They really have scratched the itch that no one thought was there. There was a comment saying, I think our Arc Raiders versus Battlefield 6 video, the commenter said, well, they're fundamentally different with very limited crossover. And I said, I think that's the whole reason why Arc Raiders is doing so well, because it is total opposite from Call of Duty and Battlefield. Like, it's a different experience. It's not the same old shit we see every 12 months. It's something new. And I just think that's the reason why Arc Raiders has been so successful. Now, this matchmaking thing, it's not a perfect system. For the longest, I did not shoot another raider for a very long time, and I was getting my shit pushed in when I first started playing. And so it's definitely not a perfect system. So don't ever rely on this system either. And from what I've seen, it takes a while for you to get into friendlier lobbies, let me say that who are really are just about like, hey, I'm just here to get shit, get out. I'm not here to shoot any raiders. And most of the time they say it's easier to get into those lobbies if you solo. I have tested it out. I can't confirm if everybody was friendly. I just know I didn't get shot at. So, yeah. And I've heard other people saying, "Hey, yeah, I get in friendly lobbies all the time. I have no issues." So, yeah, I would just say don't rely on this mechanic. It's still like the developer said, it's not a perfect science. And then two, people play different on different sessions. Maybe they didn't shoot their weapon for 5 sessions, but sixth session that you playing in, they feel like getting a little frosty. Okay, so it's very unreliable system. I would not rely everything on this system. So hey, always watch your back. Always look at everybody with suspicion, because that's just the essence of the game. But I'm very happy Arc Raiders is getting the access that it is, because I think it's rightfully deserved, and I think they're going to continue to do numbers as long as they keep this type of integrity. Even without the suggestions that I made in that video, I think Arc Raiders can continue on with what it's doing and how it's framed, and still probably have a high concurrent player count month after month after month. Let us know below how you feel about Arc Raiders. Are you playing? Are you addictive? Because I am. I will say I'm addicted to Arc Raiders right now. And do you see yourself playing this for the next what? It came out in October. Another 8 months. Not saying that there's going to be a sequel. I think they can continue to build on this foundation. And yeah, let us know how you feel about it in the comments down below. All right, this wasn't on anyone's 2026 bingo card. A GPU shortage is pushing NVIDIA to look backwards instead of forward. Instead of ramping up new cars, NVIDIA is bringing back the RTX 360, people. A move that says a lot about supply, pricing, and where PC market actually is right now. Because when hardware companies start revising old generation GPUs, it's not nostalgia, it's a signal. And we've seen what that signal means for gamers before. All right, so here's what's happening. Due to ongoing shortage constraints, NVIDIA is leaning on a familiar option, the RTX 360, to help fill demands going in 2026. The 3060 isn't a cutting edge card anymore, but it's proven, widely supported, and still capable of solid 1080p, and even some 1440p gaming. For NVIDIA, this isn't about going backwards, it's about keeping GPUs on the shelves, stabilizing prices, and giving PC gamers an option that actually exists while newer hardware remains harder to scale. All right, so let's put this to you. Jump to the comments. Would you rather NVIDIA focus on a reliable, affordable GPU like the RTX 360, or push everything towards next gen cards, even if price and availability stay rough? Comment below budget or next gen in the comment section.
Yeah, so multiple reliable hardware outlets and insider reports indicate NVIDIA is planning to restart production of the GeForce RTX 3060. That is a mouthful. In the
Yeah.
first quarter of 2026. This GPU was discontinued in 24, may be reissued to help alleviate ongoing supply issues in the GPU market, particularly around DRAM and GDDR7 memory shortages. Production restarts slated for Q1. Reason cited: GPU and memory supply crunch. We have reported on this numerous times, and it is just getting worse and worse. Especially high demand and limited availability of newer memory types like GDDR7 required for current gen cards. Insiders behind the claim include known GPU leaker Hong Zhang, might have pronounced that wrong. 2020. Why NVIDIA is bringing back old tech is a huge memory constraint. Next gen GPUs, especially the RTX 50 series, rely on scarcer, more expensive DRAM slash DDR7 memory, which is causing production bottlenecks. Old GPUs like the 3060, I'm going to say that from now on, I'm not using that whole title, use more reliable GDDR6 memory, which is less affected by current shortages. This makes the 3060 a practical alternative to maintain consumer GPU supply while newer models struggle with the parts available. Market and supply context. Global shortages of advanced memory components have disrupted the production of newer chips, particularly higher end and mid-range GPUs in the RTX 50 lineup. Retailers have reported stock rationing on models like the 5070, 5070 Ti due to these constraints. Some newer card launches, the 50 Super variants, weren't announced at CES 26, likely due to these shortages and supply prioritization for AI and the data center hardware. Sons of bitches. The 3060 remains one of the most widely used GPUs among PC gamers, according to recent Steam hardware surveys, making it a logical choice to reintroduce when newer cards are constrained. It's not yet confirmed whether NVIDIA will produce both the 12 and 8 GB variants of the 3060 or just one. No official details on whether any updated or modified versions would appear. We're going to say this. Multiple outlets cite the leaks, primarily from leaker Hong Zing about a Q1. But the production is targeting retail availability, not just leftover inventory. But it has not been officially, I'm going to say this again, it has not been officially confirmed by NVIDIA. NVIDIA has not yet publicly confirmed the move in an official statement. All reports are based on insider and partner leaks. So if people in the comments want to quick to point us out and point the fingers and say, hey, I'm saying it now. But for gamers and PC builders, more affordable GPUs on shelves, older cards like the 360 could help provide options at lower price points while the RTX 50 series remains expensive and or scarce. Could ease some frustration around high GPU prices driven by the AI industry demand. So bottom line, NVIDIA is likely to restart some old tech to help alleviate problems. This sounds like a nice alternative, especially on the consumer parts. While they give and hand off all the higher end 50 series, they come back to a tried and true reliable product. Now, I know the report says that the 30 series is a more popular product due to Steam surveys. My only question is, what about the 40 series? Why go back so far? That's just me. I will admit, I am PC ignorant, being a console player, and my only dabbling in PC hardware, gaming, and etc. is my Steam Deck. So that's where I'm at with all this news. Treese, how do you feel?
Yeah, so PC people really get in the comments because I mean, I'm not a PC player at all either, but it's probably for going back to the 30, it's probably just better affordability. I'm just guessing. I don't know. PC people, let me know in the comments down below why would they go back to the 30 series instead of the 40, but I'm just gonna take a wild guess. It'll probably be more affordable and cost less to make. So that's what I'm gonna say with that. But yeah, I mean, the video has been doing a lot of nasty stuff. I mean, so for them to try to bridge the gap for a lot of PC gaming consumers, I mean, I am happy about that. Maybe this will, because we reported that one of they shits could go up to $5,000. So really, this is just NVIDIA trying to make sure they captured both ends of the spending spectrum, the lower tier, the mid tier, and the mofos that's willing just to sell their firstborn for a PC. So I mean, it's smart business. That's one thing about NVIDIA. They gonna make some money. So I'm not really shocked, and the PC people gonna have to comment below because I just don't know. Is this good for PC people and for PC players, or if you're trying to build a PC? Because I don't know. I don't know if the 3060 is good enough into 2026 to get you where you want to be. So let me know in the comments below of that. But I mean, as far as how I feel about it, it is what it is. I don't have a PC. I'm not upgrading anything in my current computer. So I mean, this doesn't affect me, but let me know in the comments below if this affects you and and if it's for the better, because I really do hope this is gonna help somebody out there that is trying to have budget conscious decisions about some of these chips, some of these hardware that continues to go up and up every day when we sleep. But let us know in the comments below. This is just a rumor for now, but it's already setting the internet on fire. Damson Idris could be the next Black Panther. If that turns out to be true, this isn't just a casting choice, it's a statement about where Marvel wants to take Wakanda and the future of this franchise, because every time the Black Panther mantle changes hands, it reshapes the story, the tone, and how fans connect to the legacy. All right, so let's slow down and add some context. Right now, this is still just a rumor, and it's been a rumor for a while, but it's really been flooding the timelines as lately because of all the doomsday trailers that we'll get into right after this. But yeah, there's a lot of speculation that's going around, but it's gaining traction that Damson Idris has the range, the presence, and the physicality that fans associate with Black Panther role. Since Wakanda Forever, Marvel has been in a unique position. Mantle matters more than ever, and whoever wears it next isn't replacing anyone. They're continuing a legacy that means something culturally and emotionally to fans. That's why even the idea of a new Black Panther sparks debate, because it's not just about casting, it's about direction. Let's hear from you. Drop a comment. Should Marvel focus on honoring the existing Black Panther legacy as closely as possible, or is it time for a fresh iteration, for someone to take the mantle in a new direction? Type legacy or fresh start in the comments down below.
I'm just gonna say this, and people can take it as they should not try to recast this role. This should just be something that is just left off, because every time you try to find a replacement for someone to outdo it, you will do two things. People will get upset because you are tarnishing his memory of Chadwick Boseman, and who was a great and phenomenal Black Panther, or it won't measure up in comparison, and people will feel some type of. This is similar to Heath Ledger and the Joker role, which is why I would think going forward and for a while they kind of are moving towards not using that character in a sense, at least the way they did with The Dark Knight. Damson Idris is a British Nigerian actor known for starring as Franklin Saint in TV Snowfall, very popular television show, and roles in films such as Outside the Wire and F1. Has not officially been cast as Black Panther by Marvel, but his name is now closely tied to the speculation. Is he going to be replacing Chadwick Boseman? The official short answer is not confirmed. We've already spoken on this. There is no statements from Marvel Studios or any type of confirmation he will replace Boseman as T'Challa. Marvel has so far not announced any actor taking over that specific title. Back in 2020, Marvel's leadership publicly said they would not recast T'Challa after Chadwick Boseman's death. Wise decision. Boseman's portrayal was considered irreplaceable, and I highly agree with that. So any casting claims circulating on social media are just rumor based and not official statements. But the rumors and industry buzz, there has been a lot of online talk and speculation, including multiple entertainment outlets and fan communities report that Damson Idris is being discussed as the potential Black Panther in phase 6/7. Please don't do it. Please don't. Of the MCU, especially with the Black Panther 3 in early development. Idris appearing at events with established Black Panther cast members. Photos of Idris alongside actors like Angela Bassett, who was Queen Ramadan, at public events have fueled the speculation, though nothing from Marvel ties these appearances to an official casting, mainly just leaks and insider claims. What does Damson Idris has to say about it? Idris himself has neither confirmed nor denied the role, giving playful or ambiguous responses. On the Today Show, when directly asked if he talked with Marvel about the role, he replied yes, no, with a grin, clearly avoiding a straight answer. That's a pure media train response, so he did good. When pushed, Idris said he would be willing to play the role if Marvel asked him. Other interviews, Idris has said he doesn't know anything about the rumors, but his reactions have continued to fuel fan speculation rather than just dispel it. I believe Marvel should go what they said, not replacing him and just moving forward. Tell stories or whatever they choose to do in that universe, leave it be. Chadwick Boseman, like I said, he did a great job in Civil War, Black Panther movie, everything, and his passing was very, very sad. Most people did not know of his long-term terminless battle with cancer, and he still made those movies. I won't say I am a fully hate this choice. He is Damson Idris. He is a good actor, etc. But like I said, let's move on past the character. Grace, how are you feeling about this?
Yeah, so I guess this is a topic we're not going to agree on because even Chadwick himself would not want Black Panther to die. He loved Black Panther. He loved what it stood for having an African American hero on the big screen, just like old boy with the
Oh,
rings. And
Shane. I know what you're talking about. Shang
yeah,
Chi.
yeah.
Shang.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
was a big activist of having African Americans seen in a hero alongside of other heroes like, Steve Rogers and Iron Man. So saying you want the character to go away, I think Chadwick would be very upset if that was to happen because just everything that the Black Panther stand for. And we already know that the character is not going away because Ryan Coogler is already talking about how there's the third Black Panther in development. So that already X's that out. And I would agree with Chad. You shouldn't take Black Panther off the screen just because he passed. He will want to see it flourish and someone else take the map. Just do it with respect. Do it with the same amount of attention to detail that he did. I don't think the character should be gone. I mean, and this is coming from somebody who was highly emotional and could not go see Black Panther 2 because of the Chadwick funeral and off that they did in the movie. I just could not have myself see it. So, and
Mm-hmm.
even me, I am saying the character cannot die. It would do nothing but an injustice to what Chadwick did with that position and with that character. And I think now is the best time to try to Doomsday is the perfect time because it's kind of like split shit colliding with one altogether. So if you're gonna bring a new face to the character, now would be the time, honestly, in Doomsday. And I'm not saying Black Panther is even confirmed in this or not, because there's been a lot of teasers, a lot of trailers dropping, and Black Panther is nowhere to be found. I'm okay if it's him. I'm okay. Hell, if they even want to do Michael B. Jordan, I would be okay. I mean, they probably won't because they won't. They probably wouldn't want to confuse people. But listen,
Yeah.
I'm okay. I think it would be an injustice for them to just not have the character in future projects. And we already know that it's not going to be because Ryan Coogler is directing the third Black Panther film. That's the one that Denzel had snitched and said, "Oh yeah, I'm a part of," when it was supposed to be a secret. And so yeah, I'm never gonna tell Disney or let Disney get off the hook of trying to portray Black Panther on the big screen along with the other people because nah, I don't think that's what Chadwick would want for the character. Even though we loved him and a lot of us don't see no other Black Panther, I think he still wants the Black Panther. He will want the Black Panther still on the big screen, still a part of these big movie box office performance. To tell people to take it away, I think would be an injustice. But let us know in the comments how you feel. Do you think they should just let the Black Panther character go gently into that good night and not be associated just because you don't want to recast? Or do you kind of feel like me that it would be an injustice to the legacy that is Chadwick in the Black Panther for them not to continue on having it a part of the future projects that are to come? And do you think it's gonna, if the cast is if Black Panther is recast, is the Doomsday film the perfect time to try to bring I guess it have that be its launching pad instead of the Black Panther third movie, because you probably want to go ahead and announce to the world like, hey, this is him, this is what it's going to be going forward, don't be surprised. So that's what I think and that's how I feel. But let us know how you feel in the comments down below. Marvel just dropped news. They flipped the switch. First real teasers for Avengers Doomsdays are here. And suddenly the conversations has changed. These aren't random clips or throwaway hints. They point to a much bigger plan. One that could redefine the Avengers, the timeline, and what the next era of Marvel actually looks like. Because every time Marvel starts moving like this, quiet drops, heavy clues, no whole handing, it usually means we're closer to something massive than anyone realized. So we're just gonna play some of the trailer teasers that's been coming out. Now we're not gonna play the sound because we don't want to be copyrighted, but we will. They'll
We
have
don't wanna
caption.
get sued.
Yeah, like we not even we ain't even monetized yet, but we don't want this to be copyrighted for future for future monetization. But yeah, so we're gonna play some of the trailers, and we have subtitles going on, but we'll be talking throughout. So yeah, let's just get into the first trailer. Now, yeah, this is the trailer of Thor. Thor is confirmed to be
It's a good looking
in.
forest.
I mean, okay. Yeah, but yeah, you see Thor, it looks like I don't know where this kid came from. Who is his baby mama? Yeah, but he's talking about
So
his kid a lot in this trailer.
so I hate to say this, not to be off subject. There's another Thor movie coming out,
Yeah, I
and
detest that.
yeah,
You see
and
him praying right here to his father.
I saw something talking about that it's supposed to issues from the Love and Thunder. So I guess to answer your questions, what you're seeing here, you probably have to see another movie to get those answers.
I'm not watching any more Thor movies. But yeah, he's praying. He's talking about going into one last battle and coming back to his
Praying for the All
child.
Father.
Yeah, and then you see the thing, and you see December 18th, 2026, not that far away, and it has a clock. All right, so let's go into the next one. This one is of Steve Rogers. Is confirmed to be in Doomsday, unfortunately.
Oh,
I do not like Captain America people.
oh,
You
I do
see, he
not like
coming
him.
off. He got on his Triumph motorcycle, very common, big brand motorcycle. He has a wedding ring on. He's walking into a little house in the prairie house right here. Slow motion. He's pulling out the uniform. Don't have a lot of dust on. He's packing it away. He's saying it's a wrap. He's retired. He came back in time just to have a baby with this woman. He's holding the baby
Is
right
everyone
there.
just having kids in this movie? Is that what this
Yo,
is?
now that you say that, yeah. Everybody,
Is everyone
yeah.
just parents now? Is that what we're doing?
Yeah, hey, Endgame was very traumatic. Endgame. There you go. Steve Rogers will return in Doomsday. Confirmed
Now
in
wait a
this
minute.
trailer.
Hold on. Wait a minute. Hold on. I'm confused
December
because
18th.
didn't he grow old in Endgame?
But that's why I said in the last topic with the Black Panther, there's like there's colliding timelines. It's multiple timelines.
Okay.
Yeah, so they're colliding all into this climax like thing. That's why I said now if you want to recast Black Panther, now's the time.
Now's the time.
That's all. We don't know. That's not confirmed. Not saying whatever. But there's different timelines in this shit. All right. So this is the latest one, and this is the one that's really been going around the internet. You see, we come into this post-apocalyptic looking building. It's already been ransacked a little bit. There's obviously some shit going on. And what pops up next? Xavier's school symbol. So this
Xavier,
is
the
the
old
X-Man.
man.
Yeah, this is something about this bromance is just crazy. Every time some shit hit the fan, these two, they don't go to their girlfriends, they go to each other. Like that's some true bro love right
They're the
there.
OGs. They're the
Look,
OGs.
look,
What are you talking about?
look, they about to
They
go
fought for mutant rights. Damn it.
they gonna go gently into that good night together. And we got listen, I just want to pause. God damn it, I try to pause it. This scene right here is what's got the internet in the fucking chokehold. Cyclops, for one, he's in retro gear. Everybody's gonna fucking love that. And he's going
Hell
bananas.
yeah.
A lot of people in the original Xbox X-Men movies feels like they nerfed the fuck out of Cyclops. And they I can say so. But that was early, back when Fox was making them. But a lot of people felt like Cyclops never got to show his true power. As
Mhm.
you can see, it looks like he's going ham right here, and somebody's about to get the business. It seems like there's
Not
something
the
walking
business.
behind him. I can't. Is that fire? It looks like there's fire outside the school right there. Magneto is just, he's seen better days. He's on his last leg. Yeah, Yeah, okay, yeah. So you see these big things are walking. That could be the Synoids. Is that what they're called? Surrounding Cyclops, and maybe he's outside the
The
school.
Sentinels.
Sentinels, yeah,
Sentinels.
I knew something like that. But yeah, it looked like there's something walking behind him, or that could be that damn Titan that's stuck outside the Antarctica. It could be one of those too. Yeah, looks like look like my guy is really gonna get his shine. And those are the three teasers that's out. So, Infamous, how do you feel about what you've seen so far about the people that is at this point confirmed to be in the movie? I'm sure we still got a long way to December 18th, so I'm sure there'll be a lot more confirmations and things like that. But what do you think about all the teasers so far?
I don't care about Steve Rogers.
Oh, absolutely
I
not.
don't care about Steve Rogers.
I don't care about Thor.
Thor. I do have a soft spot for Thor because I do like Norse mythology. But what are you doing
I'm so
with this
exhausted.
character? What? Yes, he got a fourth movie when no one else did. Now he's getting a fifth movie, and then the children thing. Oh, is everyone having kids? What's happening? But you made me remember. This is not a continuation of Endgame. This is a completely different story in how they're going about it. This
Mhm.
is leading to the Secret Wars story. I don't know if anybody knows anything about that, but it's a pretty huge epic storyline in comic books, similar to the Infinity storyline, and I'm sure they're gonna add their own twist into it. I'm interested to see where it goes because just like the Infinity storyline, how they skewed it for the cinema, I would like to see how this is turned and done for cinema, the Secret Wars. The X-Men. No one loves X-Men as much as I do. The original cartoon, I was happy that Disney brought it on Disney Plus, made a new
Mhm.
season of it. I have the graphic novel omnibus of it. So seeing Cyclops in the retro gear, awesome. It begs a question, and I gotta ask this: will we get Hugh Jackman again in his retro gear? I mean, those two were kind of always, butting heads in the show. I believe in the comics as well. The Sentinels in the background, him taking that thing off. That blast is like comic accurate.
Yeah.
Fox really did kind of nerf him, but then again, technology is significantly better 20 something years from those original Fox X-Men thing because you take his glasses off or that visor, he can destroy some shit. We're talking skyscrapers, buildings in an instant. So
Shit,
that's
planets,
interesting.
really.
Oh yeah, I'm very interested how they're going to incorporate the X-Men universe into the Avengers and everything. I just want to see how they're going to do all this their way. It is really sad to see Patrick Stewart and I can't remember the other guy named Magneto's character. They have gotten old, but I ain't gonna lie, Patrick Stewart kind of looked the same.
Yeah.
like, like that, like Magneto, you can see, like, damn, bro, you have aged since those first X-Men movie. Patrick Stewart, yo, why do you look the same? Like you've been looking like this since like the Star Trek days.
Yeah, we gotta get his,
Um,
night routine while his face still look the same.
Yeah. I will also say this. This is the last portrayal that we will see of Patrick Stewart after the Avengers Doomsday. He has stated and came out he will not be doing any more films or anything like this. So now it's more like, hey, if you are a fan of any of this, you should probably go see it because it could be due to health reasons. I'm not throwing anything out there. I'm just stating what he said by his people. This is his last hoorah. I'm a little bit more interested now seeing these little teasers because that's what the fuck they are. They're teasers. They are nothing but drumming up hype, and they did it the best way. They showed less and it brings more, it draws you in more rather than you showing so many little scenes that 9 times out of 10 probably ain't gonna be in the fucking film.
Yeah.
Most people don't even realize this. And you see trailers for movies and it gets you so hyped and whatnot, and then months later you go see the film, you don't even realize that at least 2/3 of the shit in that trailer ain't in the fucking movie. But I will admit, yes, it does have me excited. I would love to see how this is all tied together. I'm not going to give any spoilers because, like I said, this is based off of the Secret War storyline. You have tons of time to go read that storyline and get caught up, and you'll see, like, oh shit, okay, I see what Infamous was talking about. How are they going to go at this? It was
Yeah.
also recently, this is the last thing I got to say. It was also recently talked about that supposedly, this is a rumor, I don't know if it's true, Henry Cavill is supposed to be cast as the character to play the Beyonder. It's another key pivotal character towards this storyline. So I'm interested. Is it a day one interest? I don't know yet, but I'll kick it over to you. What are your thoughts on this?
Well, I really just had some more questions and then you went on a little rant. But do you think Marvel has done enough? Because we had such a ramp up to Infinity War and Endgame. Do you think they've done Doomsday justice in the ramp up to this movie? I mean, I don't know what else is slated to come out from Marvel this year before Doomsday. Because I just feel like it still feels a bit rushed. Or maybe I'm
Absolutely. Oh,
just
absolutely. No, you are feeling completely justified in that. To answer your question, no, I don't feel they've done it justice because I don't want to go down a whole tangent. The stuff with Jonathan Majors and other recent projects and everything going on, they're kind of like, oh man, we need to get this, we need to try to salvage, try to get things together. But yes, it does seem feel kind of rushed. I would even go so far as to say even bringing back Robert Downey Jr. is a rush play to
Oh,
get a
yeah, I
people.
already
Oh,
said that that
yeah,
was a desperate move.
completely desperate. But like I said, storyline is what hooks me. There are many. I'm not gonna say that. There are certain storylines in comic book history that are just like my cousin says, "Mwah, chef kiss." Taking it from the comic book or graphic novel, however you want to put it, and putting it in a full on cinema mode, it begs the question. Damn, I got to see that. I got to see the
Mhm.
transitioning of that, comic to the full on screen. So yeah, I'm interested, but yes,
Do
it does
do
feel rough
you
across
do
the
you
board.
feel like this movie is gonna get Marvel back on track though, money making wise? Do you feel like this movie will do that? Cause I just looked it up. The only thing that I saw that's coming out, I mean, they got The Punisher coming to Disney Plus as a TV show. Daredevil season 2 is coming. Wonder Woman that we discussed is coming out on the 27th. And other than that, it's the Spider-Man movie and then it's Doomsday. So there's not a lot of movies in the pipeline. And I could be missing something. Let me know in the comments below. But it's just Spider-Man. And I'm not watching Spider-Man. I'm done watching Spider-Man. I don't like Spider-Man movies. I like him
So
with
as far as I know, there is supposed to be a whole another trilogy of Spider-Man movies.
I'm not
I am
interested.
curious. I'm curious how that goes with Tom Holland's
No.
recent entry.
No.
But to
No,
answer
but
your question, it could go one or two ways. It could really truly reignite things for Marvel, but it will never be how it was with the original story with Robert Downey and the Infinity Stones. It will
well,
never
no,
be that.
that's not the question. The question is they're gonna get back right money making wise.
If it's done right, if our suspicions are correct that it's kind of rushed and it just looks flashy and glamorous, you'll get the huge uptick for the first row people, the weekenders who go, and then it can kind of just slowly simmer and phase out. The term superhero fatigue, that is real. People have moved on, and I've talked about it before, how you are finally starting to see these production companies and studios start to make more original
Okay.
films and stuff carry their own.
So you saying if it's done right. I am going to go ahead and put this out there. I think this is going to right the ship a little bit. And I think Doomsday is going to make buku money just off the rip that the Russo brothers are directing. And if you don't know who they are, Anthony and Joe, they are
Oh,
the ones that
oh, you
directed Infinity War and Endgame. So that alone, this movie is going to do good. And that's probably why there's so many rumors that this movie is going to be over 3 hours long
Oh,
because
see, I didn't know that. I didn't know the Russo brothers doing this. Oh, well, then I retract my previous statement. Oh yeah, it'll do good. I didn't know that.
my only thing that I'm kind of hung up on that this is poorly, and I could be wrong. It's just a one part movie, so it's gonna be through. I just feel like this should have been told just like Infinity War and Endgame over 2 parts, not necessarily. Well, no, that I would say back to back. I just would have thought this would have been over 2 movies. That's my only
So
hiccup. Or
so wait a minute. Hold on. From what I understand, there's supposed to be two movies, or has that changed? There was Avengers Doomsday, and then there was Avengers Secret Wars. That's why I
yeah,
said,
yeah,
this
but
is setting
I'm not taking into account Secret Wars because that's like a. I feel like the entirety of Doomsday should have been told over 2 movies. That's what I'm saying, and then Secret
Oh,
Wars will pick up after the 2 movies because I just feel like Doomsday has so much content. If you don't know Doomsday arc,
yeah, yeah, go read. But see,
it
my interpretation of it was Doomsday was setting up Secret
well,
Wars.
well
Doomsday is setting up
everything.
The
Everything leads into Secret War, yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm trying to see how can I put it without spoiling. It leads up to everything to Beyonder, and then
Yeah,
Secret
I'm not.
Wars, the movie, will be the aftermath. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get that, but I'm saying the
Okay, okay.
content up to that, I just don't think fits in one
It should have
movie.
been. It
It's
should have been
and
two
then
movies. Okay,
yeah, and
okay.
there's
I get
so
what you
many
mean.
characters that, that's gonna
Yes,
be
yes,
part
it
of
is.
Doomsday. That's another reason. It should have been over 2 fucking movies. I could be wrong. Maybe Doomsday arc itself is over 2 movies, but I could have sworn it's Doomsday then Secret War. I could be wrong. I don't know. But
Yeah, that's as far as I remember it. So, but we could be wrong. People, do not
yeah,
come with your
it's
pitchforks and your torches in the comments.
I will say it has been a long time since I gave Marvel any type of attention. And yeah, so I have not been keeping up with they shenanigans just because they just not been on my radar. But like I said, I think Doomsday is going to correct the ship. The directors that they chosen are well proven and they have done it once, not just once, but twice with Infinity War and Endgame. So they're well respected in the space, and Marvel do hold them to a high regard. And I'm sure they paid them like they paid Robert Downey Jr. a lot of money because they know they have to right the ship. The direction of these superhero movies that they've been pushing out is going in the wrong direction, and
Mhm.
they need Doomsday to right the ship and kind of course correct. But I think it will. It's going to be a big fan just off nostalgia. Like, look at the trailers. They're pulling on every fucking nostalgia. You know, Disney good for nostalgia. They are pulling on every nostalgia string they fucking can. And I will admit, Doomsday is probably going to get me to the theaters just because of the moment it would be. Now, if I get to the theaters and I watch over 3 hours and this shit is bullshit, listen, Disney's gonna be in a lot of fucking trouble because if this doesn't course correct like I think it will, they're gonna have to reevaluate. They already reevaluated this past year in 2025, but reevaluating 2026, and I know they put a lot of money in this movie. I don't know, man. I don't know. But let us know what you think below. Is this a day one watch in the theaters for you? Do you think this is going to be set up well? Do you think they rushing it a little bit? And are you looking forward to seeing Robert Downey Jr. part of the Marvel cast once again, even though he's not going to be putting on an Iron Man suit? Maybe I don't know, but like I guess if Robert's there, it's going to get me there. So that's all that matters, I guess. But let us know if you disagree or agree with some of the points we made, and are you looking forward to December 18th? I think that was the date that it said. Yes, December 18th,
I said
2026.
yes. What the
No,
fuck?
you said yes. But anyway, let us know in the comments down below. Go back and forth. But that has been the show, people. Episode 17 is a wraps, and we'll see you here, same place, same time next week.